everyone. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so it's been about a day since I did assessment, the autism assessment. And on that day, I was really talkative, even in the waiting room, because I got there early. I got there at 2:30. Yeah, 2:30, and it was funny because I was sitting there since 2:30 to 2:40, and then from 2:40 I was talking to some other person that was also waiting, and I just suddenly was starting to talk to this person. As soon as they come into the room, I said hello, and then and she's like hi, and like it was just a person, waiting in the waiting room, and I just started talking because I was nervous, and I was jittery, and I was like, like holding my legs like this and going like this, and I noticed that I had food on my pants. These are the same pants that had the bit of a stain on it. Well, not really stain, it was like food. It was a humbug. It was like a crushed up humbug from when I was like cleaning up the floor when someone dropped the jar of humbugs onto the floor, and I had to pick up the individual bits off the floor. So, I mean, I'm nice. I can help people when they need it, and I must have like bent down, and suddenly it just stuck to my pants, and it was there for at least a day or two. And I didn't even notice it was there until I got to the appointment. I just felt a little bit awkward. It was like an awkward silence. Like, she was very quiet, but for some reason, for her to be quiet, it made me feel awkward because I felt like I needed to say something. I don't know why. I have no idea why I started talking to this person. They didn't even seem that interested. They just was like, yeah, and I'm just making it so awkward. I made it awkward for both of us. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if she was feeling awkward or not. Excuse me, hold that thought. Yeah? Okay, I'm back. I don't know how to edit this all out, so I'm sorry. I have no editing skills whatsoever. So, yeah. I was, just talking a lot. I'm usually not a social person, but I become social once I'm awkward. Isn't that funny? Anyway, she brought me in at 3:00 instead of 3:30 because she was there and she might as well, get in. And she started doing the autism, the AQ test that's online that I've already done. And I'm just like, okay. I didn't say it that at first. I felt like, this feels familiar. And then I'm just like, yep, it's the same one. And so I'm just like, okay, yeah. I said to her, I think halfway through the AQ test, the AQ is autism quotient test. It's just a fancy way of saying that it's a test. It's a test for autism. And it's one of those ones that you see online, those free ones online. Yeah. And I was a bit surprised that she was using that one, but I guess, all psychologists use it. And, well, Sometimes. I mean, it really depends on um their way of testing. I don't know. Anyway, I talked a lot in the testing and the assessment overall, and she was getting a little bit impatient. I could tell it in her tone, I think, that she was dismissing me. It felt like she was dismissing me, but I'm not too sure. I wasn't too sure on whether she was dismissing me or, taking me seriously, but I was talking a lot and I was giving a lot of context, and she wasn't really giving much context when she was asking the questions. And so I was like, can you give more context? I kept on saying that to her because I'm not very good at understanding, like small questions that don't have much context or detail. So I'm always like struggling with those kind of tests for some strange reason. I don't know why. Anyway, I think it's something to do with like my brain, and I also, before I went in to do the assessment, I mean, she was there, she was sitting at her desk, the door was open, and Sharon, I think her name is, she was the receptionist. She was talking to my tester, or psychologist, or whatever. Yeah, she was talking to her, and I was like, imagine this is the door. I was like, like, I wasn't sure. Because she wasn't really giving any social cues or any cues to let me come in. I was like unsure. I was like I hate those moments. I hate it. I hate it when like people like gesture to come in, and sometimes I'll be like, are you sure? Are you sure? And she goes, yes, do it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I get those moments a lot in my life because social cues are not my best trait. So social cue skills are not really my strong point. It's never been. So when someone asks me to come into a room, I'm like, are you sure? Can I come? Are you sure you're ready? Or, can I do something else? And if she doesn't give any more detail or context, I'm just standing there going, and I feel like I need to move around, so I'll start like pacing or walking, and like I feel like I should be doing something. That might be my ADHD, I don't know. I kept on like saying things like that, like to the tester, psychologist. I know her name, I've seen her before, so yeah. I don't want to say her name. We could call her, I don't know, Miss P or Miss L. I don't know. PL. Okay. Or LP. Oh, LP. Sorry. But yeah, like I was talking a lot during these tests. My cat is out there. But yeah, I kept on like saying stuff and like giving more context, and while she was asking me questions like do you do you see patterns in everything? And I'm like, yeah, I can see that my pants have streaks that go up and down or left to right, up, down, left to right. And I also said I can see patterns in the floor, because the floors had like vertical lines and horizontal lines. Vertical, horizontal, or yeah, horizontal. yeah, it goes vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. It's like lines that are in squares. So yeah, it was like a really interesting room. And I mean the floor at least. That's a little bit funny. Um but yeah, I also talked to her about my imposter syndrome, where I told her about my imposter syndrome the other day. And yeah. Yeah, that was tough for me. And um I kept on asking her, like, repeat the question, repeat the questions, because my brain, it's like it goes like between both autistic then ADHD, autistic ADHD, autistic, and then it's like a dance if you think about it. Well, no, it's just not like a it's not like a dance. It's like, oh, I can see like a pattern with my curls too. That's cool. That one's not. That one's not. Get out there. Um. Yeah. I become like I hone into things like, oh, she also like did a ADHD test as well with the autism uh, test as well, which made me feel a little confused. My mom was in there with me, and she didn't really talk that much, which is it's a godsend. Because I uh I don't particularly like it when she talks, because it's just sometimes she gives important information, other times it's not. Which is why I don't always, go with her on trips or take her anywhere important, because, well, yeah, I take her places where it's important, but it's just, mm, oh, I don't know. It's just, I get like really confused really easily. Maybe that's like a bit of autism and ADHD. I don't know. But yeah, and I also gave the tester, the psychologist, my school reports, and she says, you need to have these traits back when you were young, like very young. And I said, yes, I'm aware of that. And well, I think I said that. I'm not too sure. I also had like a cool poncho on. It was like it had like pretty patterns, and like you can like switch it like back inside out and back to front, because the pattern, it's like on both both sides, so it's like interchangeable, and I love that. Also, it was like very soft. It was very nice. And anyway, she tried to like, the tester, the psychologist, she was trying to get me to answer more questions, because we only had 2 hours. Yeah, I'm using too much facial expression. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I answered truthfully, I think. Yeah. Anyway, this was the first appointment. So yeah. The next appointment will be maybe just ADHD. I don't know. I haven't yet paid, because apparently I decided to pay it all on the last, appointment. But I don't know. I usually like pay half and half, but I don't know. I guess when we were leaving, it was 5 p.m., so we left. And it was getting dark at that point. So, yeah. By the time we got home, it was dark. It was 5:30, I think, by the time we got back home. But the testing was all right. I talked a lot. But yeah. I scored fairly high on the autistic autistic AQ, the AQ test. Yeah, I scored fairly high on that. So, and she said next time I go there, I will need to have my aunt, and I said I can't because she can't walk. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And yeah, yeah, I can't get her to come on that day. So I am getting a little bit nasally because it's getting late and I'm tired, and I get like sniffles in the morning and the afternoon. I mean, it is winter, so what do you expect? And yeah, I don't particularly remember much about that appointment. I can remember, doing some questions, answering with a lot of context. But she said don't dwell on the questions, just keep going. And I'm like, okay. I talked a lot. Just letting you know. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know much about the results in that. So yeah, I don't know much about what she put down on her notes. I talked about a lot of things. I kind of got political, I think. I don't know. I talked about how this thing on the news where these people, I'm not gonna say who, said that they refused to do LGBT stuff. Doesn't matter who they are, but I told her that I laughed at it because, and my aunt said, that's not very nice, that was very rude. And I said, and then I told her that I don't understand why they put stuff on the news about what people think about LGBT, and I just, sometimes I feel like things get blown out of proportions on the news. She said that's very rude, and that I didn't understand why she said that it was rude that I laughed. I didn't understand that, but she said to me that like everyone has their opinion, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And my aunt also said that they said they won't take part in a thing because of the LGBT. So I guess it's on the news for a reason. So I don't know. It was very confusing, but I need to go. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the autism assessment that I did. Partially ADHD assessment. Okay, bye.